picked here.
Oh yeah,
Lucario
was one of the characters that Bloom mentioned to me his friends had chosen. So it appears we're seeing Lucario. And honestly, I don't know. I don't think Lucario does particularly well in this matchup just because Lucario really struggles against characters that kill him early. And if there's anything Hero does, it's killing you early.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say Lucario does too well in many matchups.
Yeah.
It's not really a character we see very often for generally good reason, just struggles to generally piece anything together that's too consistent, relying a lot on like that rage plus the passive Lucario has.
Indeed, indeed. It's a character where you have to lose the game to start winning, and ultimately the consistency of a character like that is going to be very shaky. But it's kind of like the rolling the dice or gambling. When you hit the jackpot, boy, does it feel amazing, but...
How many times have you lost to get there, Scores? That's the question.
Exactly.
And this already not looking like a too great start for Bloom, already 113%. Not managing to get too much return damage, but now the Aura and the Rage coming online. What can Bloom put anything together? Ooh, not. Yeah. Ultimately, already. Crazy.
It's insane. Ultimately, no matter how much damage Lucario takes, I always consider it an even game until I see the stock taken. Because if they don't take that stock, you're now dealing with full Aura Lucario. You blink and suddenly you're at 80%. I mean, 70 thanks to the good old menu, but almost dying at 70. The Lucario up air, like, look at this.
Bloom just likes to make life hard sometimes for everyone involved. And it's going to take the first stock after being 100% down at the start of this game. Bloom really showing that it doesn't really matter what character he's playing, he is just better than people.
He really is, he really is. And honestly, making use of Lucario's Lucario's Aura to survive to the max, and now you're having to play against near max Aura Lucario. I believe it maxes out at 190, but 150 is still no joke, because look at how big those Aura Spheres are. Look at the amount of damage on Hope right now. What is the answer here?
Taking 30% from one Aura Sphere definitely feels like it's maxed out enough, for sure.
Absolutely.
And for Hero not to be able to kill at 160, it's very rare, but that'll be Bloom laughing to himself, realizing that's an unfortunate SD right there, just not quite being able to control the up B correctly.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to control, honestly. It's almost like driving a car on ice, almost. It's truly something, but still, with that, it does mean that all of Bloom's Aura is gone, and he's going to be having to play a little bit of more of a normal game, or normal game plan.
But with Hero already at 136, it doesn't seem like it matters too much. Lucario is still not going to struggle too much to kill at that percent.
Indeed, indeed. But ultimately, it's a case of can he land the kill, and he will. And right now, it is on Hope to find an answer to this Lucario.
Yeah, that forward throw was insanely powerful. Just kind of disappeared off the side of the screen in a blink of an eye. Absolutely,
just vanished. On top of that, they have the command grab too, when they have more Aura just to completely set up. Ooh. But Hope is on the back foot right now. Ooh, narrowly almost getting that call out, but the very good patience from Bloom, just to wait it out and avoid it. Yeah, that Psych Up forward is going to take it. We have the Shield Breaker online with both Psych Up and We're seeing the dash attacks come out to try and pop it.
Psych Up is a crazy, crazy ability, just insane kill power. But as soon as it starts wearing off, which it does seem to have done now, you're very much back in the back foot situation. Though managing to even up the percent here with another nice combo. Goes for the down air off stage.
Almost getting the setup once again. Bloom needs to find an answer to this. What is the way back to stage? How do you get out? Oh, we're not quite going to see. Insane. I was holding my breath for the menu off stage, but nothing looked particularly favorable, it seems.
Whenever that Hero runs off stage with that menu, ooh, that Lucario is just going to steal away that stock and that game. Bloom just instantly asking to run it back. Looks like Lucario sticking around. But good first game from Bloom. But nothing to scoff at coming out of Hope. I think Hope very much showed that it was very even, very doable for him. But yeah, Hero running off with menu at kill percent, you're just like, you have so many options you could pull here.
You could just get Crackle Slash and then boom. You can't mash out fast enough until you're in the Blossom.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately the key there was there were a couple of situations, we saw even in the last sequence, where Hope had kill setups and kill scenarios, but if you don't land them and you let Lucario return back to neutral, you're now dealing with a monster. You're dealing with an angered beast.
Yeah, I wonder how much experience Hope actually has playing against Lucario.
Indeed, because I'm not sure if there are many in Denmark.
There's not many in the UK either. There's just not many Lucarios around in general.
Yeah.
From what I've seen at least. Definitely not at the high level. But again, the game 2 starting very much similar to game 1. Hope is starting to get a lot of early percent onto Bloom, but Bloom, again, not seeming to care all that much. 69%. Goes for just the please land in front of me forward smash.
Indeed, indeed. That's often what you see when Psych Up is out, because Psych Up is active right now, and boy, it only works for one hit, so you try to make that one hit count. The F smashes, the flame slashes, everything comes out just to land that, but Bloom is playing a very patient game. Very aware of that, being like, I know you're going to go for these Hail Marys, and I'm just going to weave around them. I'm going to take my time. and ultimately punish you for these openings you're giving me.
Yeah, and in the space of 2 or 3 sentences there, just instantly Hope went from I'm at 10% to I'm at 110%, and now this Lucario is just looking to take this first stock, and it is going to take it. Was that offstage, just going off stage and taking that first stock?
Indeed, that down air quite potent indeed. Honestly, Hope, we haven't even seen much aura as well, only at 60%, but the aura is climbing. The aura is climbing.
Every single hit just puts Lucario into a more scary and scary situation if you can't manage to finish the stock off, and Hope is struggling to finish this stock off. Lucario at 130% already, but there it is. The back out off ledge is going to take that.
And that was so important, because if you let him back at 150 when you're already at a deficit, it really does snowball, doesn't it?
Yeah, you could very easily be dead at 60 or 70. There's a nice combo out of Lucario. But it's starting to get a bit going here, Hope. 72% onto Bloom. But it's all about the question of, can you confirm the kill? What have you got?
Ooh! Fully charged side B out like a crackle slash. Truly an electrifying start to the game. Oh,
Hope
my goodness.
answering my question very quickly with a yes, I can confirm the kill. What are you on about? I know my confirms.
Exactly.
Very nice, very nice.
She's been like, don't worry, I got it under control. And ooh, look at the amount of hits done on that. 2 down airs, 81% on deck. What is Bloom's answer?
I don't know what Bloom has in this position, but at the end of the day, it's Lucario, so it doesn't really matter too much. But Lucario has a lot of moves that with Aura will just end up killing at this percent. Ooh, and that is one of them!
We're seeing a little bit of a patience battle, but also combined with a little bit of a hard read. You'll see a slight delay before coming to something. But speaking of insane reads, there's Psych Up and Oomph is out. Everything will break shields. Down air, back air, any smash attack. So it's a case of, will Bloom be patient enough? Ooh, not quite.
I got scared for Bloom for a second there. I really thought his shield was going. This bounce coming out is very nice, though. Lucario not going to be able to use Aura. That F smash just going wide. Can Hope get back to center stage, does manage to. Crack Slash not managing to get the kill. Goes for another dash attack. Going for a lot of unsafe options here is Hope. Really wanting to get this kill now. Feeling like he's very scared this Lucario was the higher rage. But Bloom just playing it nice and slow. And just for playing a bit of footsie here in neutral, but who's going to get this next interaction scores?
It's very terrifying to see, because Bloom's off stage, but the up B, it sends into a tech situation so fast that if you're not aware, boom, in the blink of an eye, your stock is vanished, gone, deletos.
Yeah, I didn't even see the Lucario start coming back up again. He just kind of disappeared.
It almost looked like a spike, like insane. But we're seeing Hope answer right back.
Yeah, Hope evening up the series 1-1, and I saw Bloom go for the run it back, so sticking with Lucario, it seems to be.
Indeed, indeed.
I wonder at what point Bloom would swap.
I think it's kind of like when all the chips are down almost. Like if you're in a situation where you're like the next game will cost you, usually that's when we see Bloom kind of pull out the bayo. Yeah,
I've been thinking that myself, but then at KO, when Bloom decided I'm playing Pit, I think there was a game 5 that just committed to Pit and said, no, I'm going to win anyway.
I think in that situation, he was guaranteed to pit for the entire tournament. Like, I don't think we saw really any other characters. On top of that, he said he'd been watching Zachary VODs too, so he was very, very dedicated.
I heard from Lukey, he was like on the way up in the car, went, I'm going to play Pit, and just got Zachary VODs out on his phone and just started studying them. But this is not Pit, this is Lucario, and Bloom might have found some VODs to watch of that, because he's looking like he is doing pretty well in this set so far against the Danish #1 player, Alex.
Oh my god, 53% on deck and no aura to be seen. Bloom has yet to be, well, as I say that, but still, no manageable, no noticeable aura on deck right now. It's truly insane to see him, Errol.
Yeah, Bloom saying, oh, I know this character has this comeback mechanic, but what if I just win first anyway?
What if I just win?
Yeah.
What if I just win?
What if I just run at them and beat them?
Exactly. And ultimately, Hope is left a little bit confused, a little bit terrified, but Bloom is remaining calm and patient, waiting for the slight opening, any opening whatsoever, to just catch Hope off guard.
Yeah, it's the patience that's just fantastic out of Bloom. Every time I watch him play, I'm just like, how do you have this amount of patience to just find the reads that you always seem to find in every single set? Everything he seems to dodge is like, just last split second reacted to it. And then because he's done it last split second, he can then find the punish, and it's just incredible to watch. But the edge guard situation now, can Bloom manage to keep Hope off stage? Hope just managed to run out of mana, so not having enough to get back with the up B. Bloom just putting enough pressure on, so Hope felt pressure to use the up B early.
Indeed, indeed. One of the drawbacks of Hero's Recovery, if you can't find Zoom off stage, then you have to commit. And it does cost a decent bit of mana, I believe 18 to 20. So as a result, you have to be very careful. But speaking of being careful, Lucario 117%. When did this happen?
I was going to say, Scores, this is a very scary situation for Hope, being behind with Lucario still being on 100%. 2 auras have hit and done like 30% each.
Oh, but the Psych-Up Shield Break is here to say, we are still in this.
We're still in this, but 73% already is nothing to scoff at. Lucario got a lot of work out of that aura.
Indeed, indeed. And ultimately, it is a question of who's going to take this stock first. Will Hope be able to bring it back, or will Bloom run away with it a little bit more?
Yeah, Bloom just seemed to find a way in with this Lucario against the sword, but I say that and Hope is actually managed to get a bit of percent on at the moment.
No panic though, awareness of the situation, that's what Bloom does best. I myself, I would have got shield broken there. I'm gonna be real, guys. I would have got shield broken there.
I would have panicked and hit the shield button 100 times.
Exactly, but Bloom immediately whipped him and was like, you know what, I see you. That's a roll.
That's the thing about Bloom, as I was saying earlier, just always has that patience to just be like, no, I'm good, I'll wait. I'll choose the better option.
Indeed, and once again, Hope finding themselves no mana off stage. I appreciate the attempt to move past Bloom with the speed of Accelerator, but Bloom's awareness usually helps him out here, but catches him off guard.
Yeah, kind of an unusual error out of Bloom to get up into that snooze. You don't see that kind of mistake from him very often.
Indeed, indeed. But amazing capitalization from Hope right there. Oh, nearly catching them with the footstool. I'm liking this. I like this.
Yeah, Hope definitely not scared to go off stage. Going to put all the pressure on to try and get Bloom to die at those early percents. Very much wants to take a 2-1 lead in this set, Scores.
Indeed, indeed. And we're seeing the fear slightly there. As Bloom builds up Aura Sphere, Hope has to give up stage control to be able to react to it, but that means that Bloom has the entire stage to work with and ultimately just ends up keep trapping them over and over and over again.
And this mana's getting very low against Scores. I'm getting very worried if Hope ends up off stage soon. He's not going to have the mana to get back. Only has enough mana for one more up B. If he gets sent off stage, needs to up B again.
No more up Bs left. I don't think there's even enough left for Zoom right now.
Zoom being 6 mana, yeah, not even enough if he was sent off stage, but that hit does put him back into a decent enough mana to do something.
I like the patience from Hope. The execution was slightly off, but I appreciate the patience. But you need the execution against Lucario, otherwise they live. And if they live, it is your problem.
And that was a situation where even if he didn't die to the forward throw, there was no mana on deck to do anything with. So a little Zoom didn't appear in the menu. That was a very, very dead hero. Bloom managing to take a 2-1 lead in this set, looking very good so far. With this very unconventional pick of the Lucario.
Indeed, indeed. I think Hope was playing a tiny bit more patient and normal heavy in game 2. So I think we need to see a little bit more of that. So because once again, Hopes just keeps on finding themselves with low mana off stage, and that's because they commit to a lot of these callouts with mana. High mana moves like Kaboom, 46. We're seeing that 40 mana off the deck, off bat, you know. I believe that was a misinput, but still.
I kind of hope so, because otherwise it just kind of feels like, what are we going for? What's that really going to gain you? It's just 30% probably. Like, it's not going to gain you stage control. And giving Lucario just 30% doesn't feel like it's that relevant, really, against a character like Lucario.
Indeed. It seems like a misinput, but definitely a costly one, because we're already at 50 mana. You can definitely just whittle away at that because it continues to drop. But Hope is making up for it just by winning neutral and trying to hold advantage state in these areas. You're seeing it slowly replenish. The bank is slowly getting jailed out of jeopardy.
You say that, but 15 mana. But did find bounce, or at least not too much of a challenge right now. Ooh,
indeed.
Hero looking very scary, but also on ledge. How can you get off ledge? Zoom is going to get him off ledge for free. Bloom not managing to catch that out. Goes for the grab, not managing to connect anything. This is getting very scary.
It's definitely very scary. The aura builds up. The Psych-Up is still there, though. That only disappears when you have one move or die, or you get sent to the heavens. But regardless, Lucario at a high percent, you have to be very, very scared. And honestly, the gameplay at the moment, you're seeing the Kamooms, you're seeing the high mana spells, and they are very, very good, don't get me wrong. But it's like Hope is constantly fighting the mana stock market almost. He's trying to inflate the prices of mana. He's trying to inflate the mana gauge. But he's having to also use costly spells, costly mana. And ultimately, that is where Bloom is able to capitalize on, because you can only do that so many times.
Yeah, it feels like he's not confident in what he can use his normals into, like how the trades go with Lucario. Doesn't want to swing the sword too much because he's just like, does this actually work? Feels like he's just trying to keep the distance because he just doesn't want to take trades, which I understand, but you don't have the mana to infinitely take those long-range trades with a Lucario.
Indeed, indeed. Ultimately, it comes down to your confidence in the mid-range, and the mid-range is exactly where Bloom is exploiting. And Hope is very good with their normals, and I get not wanting to scrap with Lucario because no one really wants to. His frame data is very good, and when he has mana, when he gets aura, oh my goodness. But you need to be good at the mid-range to really shut him down, because Hero can only play the long range for so long, as you said.
Yeah, and you could see the head shake. Ooh, went for the up smash call out there, just not managing to connect it. But you saw the head shake after stock 2 out of Hope. Very much looking like he's getting a bit tilted at this Lucario, not finding the answers he wants to it. Does fall out of that little bit of a jab combo out of Bloom. Up tilt, not anything else coming out yet, but does just manage to keep just trying to juggle Bloom, but goes for the hard commit F smash on landing instead of going for something a bit more guaranteed.
Indeed.
And instead gets hit out of it because of it scores.
Ultimately, it's these commitments, because he still gets the grab there, and this is a very fortunate situation, but these commitments, missing the setups. Ooh! I say miss, but he hit that down there very hard. God damn! That was a really good call out.
Very clean down there, but it kind of feels like Hope is so scared of the Lucario getting aura. He's like, well, I just need a crit right now, so maybe I go for the F smash.
I just need to kill them right now.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're seeing from Hope. The high committal call-ups, but unfortunately it puts you in these situations where Bloom is just going to win over time. Because the more you're in disadvantage, the more the worse the situation, really.
Yeah, the more you have to try and jump around that aura to get back in again, puts you in a different situation. But bounce does also nullify that as a problem. So I want to use this. I want to see Hope use this bounce to kind of close that gap into the mid-range, like you say.
Boom! Taking so much mana, you only have 20 left. There's only 2 uppies.
Yeah, and the bounce is off deck now. Scores.
But Zoom is going to bail him out of jail. Bail him out of the Blossom jail, indeed. But what will he do with it? What will you do when you get back to stage? Can you seal out the stock, or will you let Lucario run away once again?
Yeah, but how much of a bailout is it really when you're at 156? Just like feels like you just don't have an option right now. If you get hit one more time with a big hit from Lucario, the set is over.
Indeed, indeed. And
no mana to keep a Lucario out either. Scores like, what can we see out of Hope? What are we waiting for?
We need more sword gameplay, but Bloom is very patient right now. He sees these sword normals coming out. He's like, you know what? I know the range you're going to be in. I'm just going to position, so it's unsafe. But even now, the up B setups that he usually relies on, not enough mana. So ultimately, not able to capitalize like he usually does, and he's giving it everything. Just about manages to make it back, but will this throw kill? Not quite.
Not quite having the aura, but the up air is going to take it, and that is going to be the 3-1 set to Bloom4Eva over Hope.
Yeah, we talked about Lucario's inconsistent nature as a character, but ironically, ultimately, what allowed Bloom to win was his consistency. Not Lucario specifically, but his ability to hold down the fort with stage control and positioning.
Yep.
Anytime that Hope wanted to set up their game or camp the long range, he was happy to let him use the mana, and then when he had no mana, he was like, you know what? You're going to have to play my game now, pal.